Hey,
Hello.
folks.
You're
Hey,
jo- you're joining us, and we are already live on LinkedIn. So
Okay,
l-
nice.
let's give it a minute for people to join. I'm gonna check how many people we have, and then we'll get going. Oh, weird. LinkedIn keep changing it when where it's showing how many people are joining. But we have a few people joined so far. So we'll wait a minute, and then we'll start. Maybe we'll start in like 40 seconds. You guys are
Sure.
both calling in from California, right?
hmm
yes, in San Francisco.
Nice. We're luckily have dry weather too today in Seattle. All right. Should we start and then people can catch up? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And by the way, your video seems a little bit blurry. I don't know why, but
I can try removing the blur and see if that helps. Oh, it doesn't let me. No, I cannot change it. I cannot change it while it's live. So is it my face is blurry or just the background? Oh yeah, I see. I think maybe this is the internet connection, but
oh,
it should kind of recover. So it should. I saw that it was okay, and then it got blurry. So hopefully
got it.
it will recover.
Sounds good.
All right. All right, welcome everyone who joined us so far. Please, we would like to learn more about you and why you're here today. So please type in chat where you're calling from and what is your job. If you want to share that with us, so we know who's listening and what should we talk about. And later on, we will also be addressing your guys' questions. So that's a good way to practice, typing in chat. So we're gonna kick things off today. I have Arun and Ali Reza with me today, and we're gonna talk about people management, pain points, challenges, and how can we solve it with AI, and what other tips and tricks these two great managers and leaders have for us. So we're gonna start with a round of introduction, and I'm gonna let Arun and Ali Reza introduce themselves.
Alireza, you want to start?
Yeah, I can go ahead and start. So this is Alireza Balurci. I'm the CEO at CatchUp AI, where we are automating and building a co-pilot for engineering managers to be able to manage their teams easier with the help and much better, so they can focus more on architecting and leading in technical sense.
Okay. Yeah, hi. I'm Arun Gundlapalli. I'm a technology executive with over 20 plus years of industry experience, mainly in building enterprise business applications. Most recently with Salesforce as Vice President of Software Engineering with the Field Service Product Engineering Group. And previous to Salesforce, I was with Microsoft for well over a decade there. Most of my time there was on the Microsoft Dynamics ERP engineering org. So yeah, I'm here to discuss some of the challenges facing people managers and people leaders, and also how AI can be used to solve it. So happy to
Yep.
be here.
And yeah, I've spent some time at Microsoft as well. I was a NASDAQ there for 11 years. I left 2012. And so recently, in the last decade, I've been leading engineering teams as well. So I understand firsthand the pain points and the challenges of the engineering managers when we have to balance, the strategy and the vision, and at the same time, we have to grow the people and make sure that the team is happy and we can support and help them grow in their careers. And so that's what I want to start with today. The question is, what are the biggest challenges that engineering managers face when they have to balance the pressure for the deliverables and managing and growing the teams? What is your experience with that?
I can go first. Uh, I feel the answer is kind of in the question itself. Uh, so obviously, right now we have teams and companies across the industry facing a lot of pressure to deliver fast, to deliver at low cost, and basically lost in the shuffle is the focus on team development, career development, and team growth and so on. So I feel like that is kind of like the biggest challenge is like how do you balance those two? And then the second part would be there are so many tools out there. There are so lots of great tools for project management, lots of great tools for measuring engineering productivity and quality and so on. But I don't feel there are enough tools that enable and empower managers to focus on career development and performance management and so on. So yeah, so those are a couple of big challenges. Alireza?
Yeah, I agree with you, and definitely we've seen trends that have been happening. One of the biggest trends that everyone has been seeing, that these productivity tools for software engineers, software development teams, and that actually results in these teams are moving much faster than before. And one thing that everyone is talking about, and is how we are feeding these engineering teams, how we are leading them, how we are helping them better. Of course, we have product managers, we have technical product managers, but what I'm seeing the trend is these engineering managers who have been trained under craft are really great in what they do, and now they became managers. They tend to go back and do more help in creative product management with their teams and helping them grow. And then what's going to be the gap, especially with the trend of flattening and reducing the number of middle managers, is going to be career development, performance management, productivity management. And with these productivity tools, the gap between low performers and top performers are hitting much more than before. So the top performers are moving much faster. The low performers are falling behind much faster. So here is where AI is coming and needs to help in that regard, because it can do, and I've been training a lot of managers, and it can do every single piece that a manager have been doing, from looking at the room, understanding what's going on, gathering those data much better than a human, analyzing it a lot of times much better than human, and then act on them and never miss acting on those data. You probably have heard a lot of, have received a lot of surveys that companies do, managers do, and then they go and then it becomes crickets. You don't hear from them anymore. No actions on it. So AI can do that too. So the whole end-to-end things that a manager is doing really well, now AI can do. So that's where I'm seeing the trend is helping the pain of managing people at the same time managing work can be reduced a little bit with AI.
Yeah, gathering the data is one of the challenges that we have when managing people. So, when working cross discipline, for example, how do we gather the information about how this person did while working with another team? Um, so that's definitely a great challenge for AI to help us gather the data. But Arun, I was curious, how do you recognize the high performers, and how do you potentially can tell that someone is underperforming? What are your traditional ways of figuring that out?
Yeah. Yeah, so traditionally, I would say there are two ways or two methods that I use. One is a little bit organically, just like observing, getting feedback, sometimes unsolicited feedback, right? So people will come to you and say, "Hey, like I don't think this person is doing the right thing," or they come up with some complaints or something like that. That's one side of it. There are challenges with that. The other side is obviously again using tools and dashboards and reports and traditionally, as I said before the advent of AI into our lives, we used to build reports to track different metrics, right? Like whether it's code check-ins or bugs found and so on. So traditionally, I've always used a mix of those two, the reports and dashboards and metrics, and more of the subjective organic feedback. And always cross-verify both, because just relying on peer-fed feedback or just relying on the numbers, both of those are dangerous. So you do need to cross-verify as well.
Yeah, but that is a lot of work that the manager has to put in for each employee, right? Cross verifying the numbers from the check ins to the feedback from the employees, right? And Alireza, this is what your point is, I think, is how can we gather this data efficiently with AI? And how can we use AI to help analyze the data and give us a report saying, like, hey, this employee did this many check-ins, this was the reviews on those check-ins, here's how many times maybe the product bugs were introduced potentially, right, and reverted. So is that kind of where you see AI being useful?
Definitely. That's one of the pieces. I can give you an example of a time that, like, a lot of us know Jira, like, all those productivity tools, and like we use like Git, and then there are data that are in Git about number of pushes, number of pull requests, who did what pull request. Those data exist. There was a time at a company that we had these teams, and in Jira, you can make it visible to leadership so they can see all these like burn chart, velocity charts, things that the teams are doing. And very interestingly, nobody was looking at those. And you don't have to a lot of times. What we did, we were co-located in the same company. They had a lot of TVs here and there. We made them to rotate in those TVs that are going around, and people like just walking, like the serendipity of like just seeing that. So that actually was very helpful to keep management and business very aligned with what the development teams are doing. And we had the president actually coming and joining one of the stand-ups once, just passing by and seeing that. We don't have that a lot right now with a lot of remote and hybrid teams, but the idea is we make those data available before somebody intentionally wants to go and look into them. Because we all know all these managers, directors, VPs, they don't have time. They don't, like, it doesn't come up for them to go and look at data and make decision based on those. They just wait until it's time. They might wait until like every 6 months performance reviews to take a look at those. And that's what I think AI can do really well. Bring up those data, make sense out of them. Don't push, like, Aaron mentioned dashboards. Those are great ways to look at data. But again, like, you see tools that are giving you thousands and thousands of like, different dashboards, different charts, which are good, great. But if you can't read them, why would you create them? So AI can make sense and help you with an action item, with something just pick up and go do something about it. So that's where I'm saying, like, gathering data is good. There's so much data is there, but you can't just read all of them and make sense out of them. AI can help you with doing that.
Yeah, and if I can add, uh, so I think piggybacking to what I was saying, right, like the cross verification of like the data and the metrics, which is what Eliza alluded to right now. I think AI is made it a lot more powerful in getting all those details. So that is great. And then the other side, what I mentioned about peer feedback, I think Eliza can talk about that as well. So a lot of times that feedback is also not very concrete. It's very there are not that many examples. It's very high level, like, hey, they didn't do a good job, or the communication was poor, or something like that, which is not very useful. And especially when, as a manager, you have to go back to the employee and explain what was the feedback and why and so on. I believe AI is also helping with that, and I think Alireza, you can probably talk more about what Catch-up AI is doing. But I feel getting that peer feedback and making it more meaningful and actionable, I think AI is also helping on that. Right, Alireza?
Yes, definitely. So, very interestingly, one thing that I've seen is if you give that feedback right away, like somebody did something great, and you give that feedback to them really like right away, that's gonna like get off your list, and also they can act on it. They have that example. If you wait 2 3 weeks or a month, then it's not helpful. With catch up, what we try to do is actually figuring out what is the right moment. So as soon as we figure out, we get that closer. Even with the peers, we figure out who are with whom in a meeting, who has been contribution or collaboration with who can give those feedback, and we actually curate those feedback for people so they don't have to write it down. They can just like say, yes, I agree with this feedback you provided, because we've been there in the meetings with them, we've been in their collaboration tools, we've been in their code with them. So I would just look at it as one manager per employee who is always with them, like a senior coach who can sit with them and help them, coaching them through what they do. So that's type of feedback that we are actually trying to provide for everyone.
Yeah, so basically having this information on your fingertips and being able to give a feedback right away, that is super important. I'm just thinking back, like how often do I give positive feedback to my employees, right? Usually it's during a one-on-one meeting, and hopefully every one-on-one meeting I have something good to say. But if I get this feedback like daily in a report sort of way, then I can just Slack them, right? Or message them and say, like, hey, by the way, good job in that meeting, right? So I can see how that could help with the morale and how that can help grow the employees, right? Um, and then if we turn it around and we think about um, engineer employees who say, I don't get enough feedback, I don't know where I stand, like I only get the feedback at the performance review. I don't know how to grow, or I don't know what skills to develop because my manager doesn't tell me. So is there anything that from your perspective AI can do there?
I just want to add just one point to the previous points that you mentioned, on which is usually getting missed. We all forget to give the positive feedbacks. A lot of managers that I've seen are really don't even remember those. They only reach out to people to give them feedback when there is something bad happening. And that what that makes is every time somebody tries to, you build up a culture, every time somebody wants to give a feedback, by default the mindset is going to defensive. Somebody is going to criticize me. So changing that is very important. That's what was the basis of what we did with Catch-up AI, with using positive psychology. So if you do enough positive feedback, there is always that lack of positive feedback that makes people start thinking, well, I need to work better to get these positive feedback, because it becomes a culture. So that's one thing I wanted to add there. And yeah.
Yes, I use the rule of 5 positive, 1 negative feedback because that's what I've read from one of the relationship experts. They say, like, if you give 5 positives and 1 negative feedback, then that would keep the relationship balanced, So that's why I keep doing the positive so I can then do the negative.
Yeah, one thing to say about that is it should be genuine. So
Yes,
one
I
issue
agree.
one issue that I've seen with more junior managers, they there is a whole sandwich thing, and
Yeah, yeah,
with those, it should be genuine, because
I
people are
agree.
smart, especially when you come you work in a tech environment. People are dealing with problem solving every day. It's a very very easy thing for them to solve, to figure out you're genuine or not. So making those genuine and coming from an actual concrete example, I think, is very important.
Yep, yep. And so coming back to the employees who don't get enough feedback, right? Or who don't know how to grow or what skills to develop.
Aaron, do you have any experience with that?
Yeah, but I missed the last part of the question, Tatiana. Can you repeat that?
So, how can we use kind of AI and how can we help the situations where employees are saying we're not getting enough feedback?
Okay, got it, got it. Yeah, so I think going back to what Alireza was saying, the like you have your one-on-ones, right? So you do like whether you do it weekly, bi-weekly, however you do it. So, and typically we tend to focus on like the project related discussion during those one-on-ones, and so because you can't really talk about career every week, right? So people do tend to focus on the project side. But at the same time, giving contextual feedback as and when things happen. It could be positive, it could be negative. And you mentioned, Tatiana, about like, let's say, five good things and one negative thing and all that. But again, context is very important, right? Like, so you've just shipped a great project and this person has done an awesome job. So then you do want to highlight more on the positive side, and maybe you don't worry as much on the negative. So in that particular context, right? So and vice versa. If something didn't go well, then yeah, you could say a few positive things, but focusing on the constructive criticism is important so that the message is clearly delivered. So I feel like, yeah, a general rule is fine about balancing positive and negative, but also depending on the context, you want to give the right message as well. And as far as AI is concerned, I feel again like not, now with all these new tools coming in, you do get the data, the metrics that you need. So if you say that, hey, you didn't deliver this on time, you can come up with the details about what the deadlines were, what the deliverables were, and so so why you're saying that this was not delivered. Or if you say that the quality of this deliverable was not that high, again, you can get all those metrics through AI to kind of back yourself up about the details about what is missing or what was missing in the quality. So I feel those are all a few different examples of how AI can help you, and at the same time also getting peer feedback, and you could also get feedback from like code reviews and other Slack discussions and so on. So AI can also get that information to help you in delivering your feedback. So I feel like a lot of great ways now that are available through AI.
One thing I love to add to that is a lot of times, a lot of people I talk to, when there is a decision that is made about them, a promotion or something, come back and say, hey, I don't agree with that, or I don't think that is right. And the reason for that is people don't remember. Like, both the employee and the managers have that perception about individuals very close to the time they are making a decision. And that's hurting a lot of people because an employee who is consistently good will be penalized because they were not as good as someone who that last month's close to performance reviews is starting to perform. So making that continuous is the best. So making it 360 is the best that everyone can like give opinions. So that's gonna be more unbiased, more holistic view, making it less subjective. The problem with that is it is hard. It takes a lot of time. So I know a lot of companies months before the performance reviews and months after that the productivity goes really down because all these managers writing things, all employees are writing self descriptions, self evaluations. Peers are writing peer evaluations for them. And imagine doing that every single day, and not for a large company. For smaller companies, they have one, two, three business HR business partners managing everything. So it is really hard to manage that. So the best, so AI can come in and help with those things. Those are repetitive tasks that can be curated. The data exists, and like factual data can be added to those subjective data and make it like going smoothly continuously, giving the people perception of world rather than their self perception, reduce the imposter syndrome because though that like people will see how other people are seeing them. They're giving that feedback from a third party rather than like themselves thinking, am I doing good? Am I doing too good? Like, all those things are like coming back to you with actual data.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
I think, so
Go ahead,
sorry.
Arun.
No, I think that like Alireza made some great points. I think the two big takeaways, right? Like avoiding productivity loss because you're spending so much time in like everyone is spending time in writing feedback. Like employees are doing it, and employees are doing it for themselves and for each other. So and like if you have a lot of peers, and so each person gets pinged by like 10 different people or requests for ten different feedback, and so that takes up a lot of time. So I think the productivity loss impact is one thing that you highlighted, and the other one is to avoid recency bias,
Yep.
right? So how do it could be positive, it could be negative. It's like oh, just
Yeah.
focus on the last 2 weeks and come back with feedback. So I think this helps us avoid both those problems. So yeah, great points.
Yeah, that's what I liked as well, the recency bias, right? So I've heard mentors actually advise to, like save a few wins for like a few months before the performance reviews, because that's what the managers remember, and recency bias is real, and then if you mess up, in the last few months, then you might be in a bigger trouble, even though you've been performing really well because of the recency bias. So, definitely, they're gathering the data throughout the year and having it available every week, and then maybe have a summary at the end of the year. That would definitely solve for the recency bias, right? That we all have probably. Um, so I wanted to take a comment from Deepak in the comments. So Deepak is asking, I'm interested in learning about the AI tools that leaders can use to manage teams, set and track OKRs, and measure business impact. Could you share which platforms or solution you find most effective for this? Does any of you have an answer for that?
What was that last part of it for what they are looking for?
Could you share which platforms or solutions you find most effective for managing teams, setting and tracking OKRs, and measuring business impact?
So I would say for managing OKRs, there are many plugins that are added to like the tools that you're using already. And like, of course, like, Jira is adding a lot more, and a lot of project management movement is happening in that regard. What would change? I would say it's not there yet. I don't see any product that does it like completely from the beginning. It's a new subcategory in any of those: project management, team management. And when we talk about Catch Up AI, we are looking at like from the, how would I say it, AI first, where we do everything with AI and we can make those things happen, versus you have these project management tools that you're using already and you want to add AI to it. It's going to be very on the surface. So we should wait just a little bit more when it comes to product management for AI to be able to handle it much better and help you to do the OKR. Essentially, there will be an AI product manager very soon. But all I'm seeing right now with Jira has a lot of Atlassian added a lot of pieces and different tools. Asana, they are adding these plugins that can help you do that, to use AI to do them better.
And the development platforms themselves, they have a lot of tools too, right? Like you mentioned GitHub, and if you're using Cursor or something, so there are a lot of other productivity related
Mhm.
metrics and tools that can be acquired from that perspective.
Yes, and there we have different layers of productivity, right? We do have individual contributors, we have the leadership, we have a product management leadership, and then we have the C-suite. So there are tools for each of these functions, but when it comes into the orchestration of how we keep all of these functions aligned and the AI that does that vertically, then still like AI is getting better. What we did at CatchUp AI, we are handling the vertical of team alignment, people management, and engineering teams getting aligned and be more productive. But I think there are a lot of work can be done on the product management side.
Yeah, I myself love OKRs, and I've seen a very successful implementations of that. And I would love to see AI apply to OKRs and how it can help us shape the OKRs and align the organizations across the company. Right, that'd be great. And you're already doing some alignment across teams in Ketchup AI, right?
Yeah, that is correct. And I would say honestly, if like I have like 2 3 days, I would sit down, use one of these tools, N8N and Make.com something, just connect like to all these like Jira, like get all those tickets, put them all to Epics, all to OKRs, define some rules, and you can get something really quick and you know your business. The issue is like I haven't seen two organizations that use the same type of Jira system, Jira process. Like each company sets up their own because these tools have been developed over time and they became super complex. Now adding AI that can understand each complexity and not customize it for each of them is a little bit hard. So it's gonna take a little bit while
Mm,
for doing that.
yeah, good point. Good point. Um, let's see. So the other question I wanted to ask both of you is, where do you think AI is going in talent management? Like, what's next for these kind of tools? What's in the near future for us?
Uh, I can go first. The talent management is going to change. So we will get to a point that the manager's job, from the point of view of like, having one on one every week, trying to follow up with everyone every day, is changing, but in a good way, where they have more time for that people and human way of kind of interacting with people. I use this example in another call, like, because somebody asked me about the Starbucks and like, what if the whole Starbucks is automated and there are robots doing everything? So my suggestion is, hey, now there is this one person that is there to serve the coffee after everyone created, like, you order it to a robot, like they make the coffee, they latte for you, they made it perfect, they bring it, and another person need to, like, get it ready completely, put it in the cups, bring it to this one person who comes and serve it to you with a good greeting and have the time to actually talk to you without being rushed. How many times have you been in a Starbucks where people are like, super frustrated, they don't want to talk to you, they just want to get your order, everyone, like, just trying to get the coffees ready and pass it through? If you can resolve those and then have one person greeting you and, like, have these people building those relationships with you, that's the perfect use of AI. The same thing with talent management. If I can get everything that are repetitive, that I don't have time to do, I'm asking managers, like, if you think about your past experience, how many times you went to a one-on-one just to started to scrambling something just to be able to talk to that person without doing the research. It happens to all of us because we are busy. So what if you are ready when you go in, or the AI had done like three one-on-ones beforehand with the employee, and you have the summary of those, you know what you need to talk about with like 2 minutes prep before the meeting. So those are the things that we are saying AI can do. Now the human part of us can, like, have more time to explore themselves, can build those relationships.
I really
Yeah,
love that vision, right? That is, we're freeing up the time. AI is helping us to free up the time to do the human thing, right? So, like, let's automate and use AI for whatever is automatable, and then actually focus on the human to human interaction. I love that.
yeah,
Sorry, Arun, go ahead.
no. I wanted to add one thing. So, going back to the example that Alyssa provided about the coffee at a Starbucks or any coffee shop, right? So, what is critical is that person who is delivering the coffee has a clear understanding of what was ordered by the customer and what has gone into the preparation of that coffee, like what sort of milk was used, or right, what are the ingredients and all that. So they need to have a very deep understanding of all that in order to be able to do a good job in delivering coffees, right? So that is similar to, like, yeah, AI can give you all the metrics and tools and information about the performance review or the one-on-one feedback that you want to deliver, but you meaning the manager still owns that feedback. So they need to completely understand, internalize, and digest all the information that AI is providing them in order to have that authentic conversation that Alireza mentioned before. So that is super critical in that human interaction. So you don't want to just go there and have that one-on-one conversation and just blindly read out what AI provided you. So you need to have a thorough understanding of all the details of that as well. So that is super critical, I feel, in that aspect.
Yeah, and that aligns with a question that we got from Charles. Charles says, I see great value in gathering and analyzing team activity data for contextual feedback, but playing devil's advocate here, could the team feel like they're being monitored too closely by AI? Right? So, where is that balance?
There is a big balance that you need to provide. Like that's a barrier. There are many tools that came in and failed just because they didn't understand. There is a difference between monitoring and like being helpful. Uh, what, for example, we did at Catch-Up AI is we always say we are employee first. So there should be value for employees to see this monitoring is not for the sake of management to come and punish me. It's for me to be able to first do better in what I do. Second, build those trusts. So I've been in companies that, like, a manager was micromanaging the team. And I was able to change it around for that team for not letting that manager micromanage, not because they forced them out. They actually gained their trust by delivering, by having to be on time, to say what they said, to do what they actually said they're going to do, to, for example, they say, I'm going to deliver this amount of work by the end of this sprint, and constantly deliver those. Nobody wants to manage you. People don't want to do that. But to be able to do that, you need help. Like a lot of companies just don't do good. They spend over, they work overtime. A lot of people work overtime, over 60 hours a week with, and there's no need for that. They just need to change the process a little bit, the way they are working a little bit to get better. So what we do is we say we are becoming employee first. Managers and leadership doesn't need to even get the data. We provide dashboards, but people don't log into dashboards to look at them. A lot of you use these productivity tools. How many times your managers or directors go to their dashboards and start looking at those reports? Probably none. What we do is we say we deliver those feedback to the individuals on their own, help them grow in that, and only if it's not successful, the manager or leadership will get involved to help them. So changing it from I'm monitoring you to I'm here to help you to get better in what you do, and showing that value. Like, if employees don't see that value, they won't use it, and all the products that are going down that route will fail really miserably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, uh,
go ahead,
sorry, go
Arun.
ahead, Tatiana.
Yeah, I definitely see, Charles, where you're coming from, but also look at it the other way. There are so many biases when managers evaluate their employees. Sometimes, how often do you feel like, oh, I'm not getting recognized for what I'm bringing to the table? Because the manager might not see the data, or they might have some bias towards me or towards someone on the team. So I really like the idea of equalizing or making it kind of gathering the data about everyone and evaluating it from that more of a non-biased perspective. So yes, it will be a little bit too much data gathering on one hand, but on the other hand, if we use the data with a good purpose, then it might actually help a lot of minorities and a lot of people who are being marginalized and who are not getting valued, Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both of you made some great points. I think the key thing here is also like how do you use the data you collect and how do you solve problems that are uncovered through that data, right? So just because something is not going well or something is not on track doesn't necessarily mean the blame falls directly on the engineer or the employee, right? There could be systemic issues, there could be problems in teams working together, right? There could be problems in communication and so on. So there are other problems that are likely uncovered by this data that you as the leader can take the right approach to solving those issues where you're unblocking your team, unblocking your engineer. And so that way they also see the value of this data. And it's not just about performance management or just identifying faults in some employee. It's about solving the overall issues.
Yes,
I
and
just want to add one more thing. The issue is when you look at the data, gathering the data, is you think somebody has time to come and sit and read those data, the raw data. Like, hey, you said this in that meeting, you acted like this in the this other meeting. That's micromanagement, and we have managers who might do that, but they get tired of doing it. They don't get to do other things, so they will lose their jobs. So one thing I'm saying is that AI can read those data, interpret them, make sense out of trends, and now help management to come and help or find out if somebody is doing really great or somebody needs help doing better. Like those trends are important. And I don't think any tool that comes back and sends a list of all the bad things somebody did is will be ever successful, and nobody is interested in reading them. It's just when you want to make a decision, you have a trend that you can look at. At Catch Up AI, we make everything a trend. We never look at like this individual said this in that meeting. That's why we are bringing this. It's gonna be a trend of like, hey, this individual have been in different meetings, and most of them they probably didn't talk a lot, but they're really good when they are merging their codes. They're sending their pull requests. They've been very active. They put comments on others people. So we understand this individual might need a little bit of help to because they might be shy, they might be introvert, they might need to get to learn the team a little bit better. So the one-on-one coach actually goes and talks to them and gives them exercises to get better in that. If you look at it from that approach, it's not micromanagement. But if I like, send a list to the leadership every time somebody is doing something bad, that's going to be a problem. And AI is not there to help with that because you can just simply go to transcripts of Zoom and get those data. Like, you don't need AI to do it. Like other companies are doing it already.
Yep. Yep. And let's see. Please submit any other questions that you folks might have in the room. We have a few minutes that we can take to answer them. And while you're doing this, I wanted to ask Alireza, you've been talking a lot about your great product. If people are curious about it, how can they find out more and how can they, connect with you and ask more questions?
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. Now DM me on LinkedIn. They can go to our website, Catch Up AI, and we have our website is pretty. I have a lot of information. If they are even more curious, they can book a demo, and that actually comes to my calendar. I love to chat with them about it and see how, like, if they have any question. We are always looking for getting experts in helping us with developing better features, better things. And we are saying, or it's our mission to bring the quality management that employees deserve. So if you're an individual contributor and you're looking for helping us to let us know what is that going to help you with better management, I'd love to hear from you as well.
Great. I will
Yeah.
post a link in the comments with the website where you can book a demo if you're interested.
Arun, I think Arun had a point.
No, I was just gonna say that like I met Alireza recently at a conference and he introduced me to his company and his product and we had a couple of meetings where we went through some scenarios and what does the software do and how does it do it, what sort of data it collects to come up with the outcomes. And I was super impressed with a lot of features that are already available. And there are looks like there are great plans to come up with more enhancements as well. So definitely recommend Catch Up AI.
I've seen a demo a while back, and one of my favorite features is the communication graph. Basically, which part of the organization talk with which parts, and then that helps identifying the gaps in communication across the team and isolated teams. I think that I love that feature. So yeah, so reach out to Alireza. He's our AI in talent management expert here. Reach out to him if you're interested to learn more. And for the last question, I want to ask both of you, what is your one piece of advice to managers? What is something that you want to leave them with on how to manage and lead an AI world, or anything that they should be doing right now? Something that they can do today to become a better managers or better
I
leaders.
Yeah, I can go first. I would say embrace AI wisely. So I would say like just like how we have been telling engineers and employees saying, hey, you need to use AI, you need to get onto the AI train. The same holds true for all managers. And so definitely embrace AI and use it wisely because again, like it is very powerful. It can give you a lot of information. So it's on you it's your responsibility to use it in the right way and in taking the right action. So that's pretty much what I would leave with.
Thank you.
Uh, on my side, I would say they're the same thing. Embrace AI, but also help with your people who are reporting to you to embrace AI more. Like that skill management and is adding more to skill sets of individuals who are reporting to you is the duty of a good manager. So if you're failing to do that, especially in this scenario that at this point of time, a lot of skill sets might go irrelevant very soon and obsolete, and like individuals, everyone is responsible for their own like career, but at the same time we are like the managers, directors, VP are in charge of making sure that they build up a workplace that everyone is growing. And if you don't do that, very soon the whole workplace will not be a place people want to come and work. So you're serving the company, but at the same time serving people who are reporting to you. So that's one piece I think is missing, and managers should like very actively try to find way how to skill up people reporting to them for their own good, and their company's good, and their employees good.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, so the advice is embrace AI, find the ways how you can use it to help your people grow, to help yourself to become a better manager and leader, and just keep learning as, like we all should in tech world, ever evolving tech world. So thank you so much, Alireza, and thank you so much, Arun, for having such an insightful conversation. I hope you guys all enjoyed it and learned a few things or not, a few things from us. And we will see you next time. We'll be hosting this in the future as well. So please join us again. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Thank you. Bye.